You're running wild. How long can this go on? You're leaving me alone and running wild. You're always gone. My love you never shared. It's more than I can bear. Stop running wild.
You settle down someday and find I've gone away.
You'll think of what you've done while running wild. I can't go on. You have to choose the way. You'll have to go or stay. Stop running wild.
You settle down someday and find I've gone away.
You'll think of what you've done while running wild. I can't go on. You have to choose the way. You'll have to go or stay. Stop running wild. You're running wild. I first heard this tune when it came from Buddy Miller. I was in a band with Buddy Miller for years, and Buddy and Julie Miller, and Buddy used to sing. Well, actually, Julie left the band at one point, and Buddy needed somebody to replace her, so he called this woman that he knew down in Texas, and asked her to come to New York, see if she would join the band, and that's how Sean Colvin got to New York City. She came and joined the band, and Buddy and Sean sang this tune, and I always loved it, you know. And I mean, I had my exposure to the Levon brothers had been really about when Emmylou did "When I Can Only Win Your Love," you know. That's what I devoured all their stuff, you know. But I hadn't heard this tune until I was playing it with Buddy, and I thought, you know, one of these days I'm going to get me a pretty girl and I'm going to sing this tune, and that's why I married Teresa.
Is that it?
But she knew the tune when we started going together. She knew the tune from the Levon brothers, you know.
I like to say he made big brownie points when he courted me in New York City with the Levon Brothers mixtape.
Yeah, I knew how to get the girls, man. Yeah, and you know, anything the Levon brothers do is fine with me. So.
He claims it's one of the first songs we did together.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's actually the first tune we sang together. Yeah, because she knew it, and I needed to fulfill this dream of getting some pretty girl to sing the tune with me. So.
You pouring it on pretty thick there, Larry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first tune that I wrote specifically for Teresa to sing, and
I'd prefer not to know that, frankly.
yeah, well, it's cat's out of the bag now, isn't it? It's you know, it's a heartbreak song. You know, you start writing a song, you want to make it a happy song, and it just never seems to go that way. You know, it just keeps dragging you back, man. But it's, you know, it's a song. And we did this tune. I wrote this while we were playing with Levon in the middle of the Ramble scene, you know, and brought it in, and people liked it, and we ended up performing it regularly at the Rambles up there in the acoustic section of the show, you know, and Levon would play mandolin on this tune.
And sing.
And sing, yeah, that's right, yeah. And it's called Did You Love Me at All?
What's the meaning of forever when we've grown so far apart? When it's easier to sever than to mend a broken heart, like the wind blown autumn leaves, you made a mournful
Side of me, I'm scattered, don't know where to fall. Just a cold and sudden breeze. Now I'm shaken from your tree.
And I wonder, did you love me at all? Did I dream the golden valleys? Was I walking in my sleep? Were these dark and empty alleys be the memories I keep?
Like a ship on stormy seas, you made a mournful side of me. I'm battered and torn by the squall. I would ride another wave, but we got nothing left to say.
And I wonder, did you love me at all? Who will pull me from the ashes? Who will lift me from the ground when the one who built my refuge is the one who burned it down? And like a dying locust tree, you made a mournful side of me. No more will I stand straight and tall. Oh, I wish that I could see what you wanted me to be. And I
Did you love me at all? Oh, I wish that I could see what you wanted me to be.
And I wonder, did you love me at all?
This is a Reverend Gary Davis tune that we did. Let's see now. What was the sequence of events here? Oh yeah, I did a record with Marie Knight, the great gospel singer Marie Knight, and she did a record of all Reverend Gary tunes, and this was one that she wanted to do. Now, I'm a huge fan of Reverend Gary. Back in the '60s, when I first saw him play, I was just mesmerized, blown away, scared to death, frankly, because I didn't think you could do what he was doing on a guitar. You know, and I just started playing, and then I heard. So that was like 1968. He was on the Pete Seeger Rainbow Quest show, and I went out and borrowed some records of his, and I just couldn't figure it out. You know, it was a little erratic for me to really sink my teeth into. And then a couple of years later, I saw Yorma and Jack at the Fillmore in New York, and bought that record. And I saw what Yorma was doing with this Reverend Gary Davis stuff, so I sort of followed Yorma into that world, and then years later was able to actually dissect everything Reverend Gary was doing, you know. But like Yorma, I figured the way to do this was take what he's doing and make it my own, you know. And so I learned these tunes kind of the way I wanted to do them, and then got together with Marie, and we did this record. And then Yorma asked if I would come out to Fur Peace Ranch and teach and perform with Marie from this record, but she was too sick to do it. And he said, then he called Teresa and asked if she would sub for Marie, you know, and
when Yorma calls, you say yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No matter that they're replacing this revered elderly black gospel singer with a chirpy little white girl.
Yeah, but it worked out pretty good.
But Reverend Gary's not far from the stuff I grew up with, so it's really the same cadence, and dug into it through that.
It's that passionate gospel world, you know. So anyway, here's one of the tunes from that record that Teresa did at Yorma's, and it's become a standard for us now.
If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. Delilah was a woman, she was fine and fair. She had good looks and coal black hair. Delilah, she gained old Samson's mind. At first he saw the woman as a Philistine. Delilah, she climbed up on Samson's knee, said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please. She spoke so kind, she talked so fair. Samson said, Delilah, you cut off my hair. You can shave my head as clean as your hand, and my strength will become as any other man. Oh, if I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. You read about Samson, all from his birth. He was the strongest man that ever lived on earth. One day while Samson was walking along, he looked down on the ground and saw no jawbone. He stretched out his arms and chains broke like threads, and when he got to moving, 10,000 was dead. Oh, if I had my way, oh, if I had my way, if I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. And as Samson and this lion, they got in attack. Samson, he climbed up on the lion's back. You read about this lion killed a man with his paws, but Samson got his hands around the lion's jaws, and he ripped that beast. Lord knows he killed him dead, and the bees made honey in the lion